So you've decided to DIY your website. That is amazing. I'm super excited for you and I know you're going to do great, but I'm glad you landed on this video because today we're going to run through 10 really important factors of a great website that a lot of DIYers actually miss the mark on. And I know that 10 seems like a lot, but they're not super complicated and they're going to make sure that your DIY website goes from good to great. And it isn't just pretty, but effective too. Here at Big Cat Creative, we always say done is better than perfect, and you shouldn't wait to launch your website. We always encourage DIYers to just get something up, get your website up ASAP, and don't overthink it too much. Once it's up, it can always be improved. Websites are always a work in progress. So whether you're starting from scratch with your website today, right now, or you're improving your current site, these 10 things are going to ensure that your website is as effective as possible. So with all that said, let's walk through the 10 most important things to consider and check when building your own website.
Okay, first, let's start with the basics. Every single website needs an easy to find and straightforward main menu. You'll want to use clear, descriptive labels in your navigation and avoid getting too fancy, vague, or cryptic. We know that saying about us or about seems kind of boring and unoriginal, but it gets the point across and everyone is going to know exactly what it means. Saying something like learn, on the other hand, might feel a little bit more creative, but it's also more vague and a little bit unclear. Is this an about page, a course page, a free resources page? Honestly, who knows? You'll want to make it very, very clear for visitors to find exactly what they're looking for and build your main menu with the mindset of someone who's never been to your site before. Next, you'll want to create strong calls to action. Calls to action are the bread and butter of your website. They're the best way to get visitors to easily and quickly interact with your content, which is the most important thing, right? A call to action can be anything from shop the collection to get your free consultation to sign up now, and it's usually displayed in the form of a button or some kind of link. When creating your calls to action, you'll want to remember to use actionable language and to position them prominently throughout your site, specifically on your homepage, on sales pages, and at the end of blog posts. Placing less importance on calls to actions or forgetting to use them altogether can completely halt user engagement on your site. Honestly, everything down to your newsletter opt-ins are crucial to create a strong community of people and allowing them to interact with your content, purchase your offerings, and stay in the know. Our third tip for DIYing your website is to optimize your site for all devices. Forgetting about mobile responsiveness is one of the easiest mistakes to make as a DIY website designer. But this can lead to a disorganized and confusing mobile view, which makes the experience of browsing your website unpleasant at best and impossible at the very worst. And with the amount of mobile viewing going on these days, this is not something that you want to risk. You'll want to strive for a website design similar to this that clearly translates to mobile view really well. This design fits the smaller screen size nicely, and all the information is still clear to read and also still enticing. You still get all of the extra little creative elements, and the design is just as impactful as it is on desktop view. This example, on the other hand, clearly didn't translate to mobile view very well. You can see that some of the elements are overlapping, and some are too big or too small. It's really hard to read the text or even figure out what's going on in this section. In order to avoid a mistake like this, you'll want to test out your website on different screen sizes throughout the process. To do that, you can manually resize your screen using the browser like this. You can use a resizer tool like the Chrome Window Resizer extension. You can check the design on your own personal mobile device as you're building it. And if you're using a platform like Squarespace, you can also use their built-in mobile view settings, which make things really convenient. And if you're starting out using a website template, you'll want to make sure to use one that's already optimized for mobile view. All of our premium Squarespace templates, for example, are strategically designed to look beautiful on any screen size, so that the most you'll have to do is make minor tweaks to fit your specific needs. And you can check out all of our different templates using the link in the description below this video. Next up, let's talk about implementing basic SEO strategies. SEO, or search engine optimization, is one thing that you can rely on to boost your site's visibility on search engine, yet it's still so common to see it slip through the cracks. A lot of the time, DIYers don't even know about the basics of SEO, which is why it's so important to be fully prepared before making the decision to launch a website. And using a website platform like Squarespace can really help to make completing the SEO basics a breeze for you. Some of the most important SEO tools to consider are things like your site title and site description, your page URLs, image names and alt text, and your 404 or not found page. But the list honestly goes on and on, which is why we have created a full blog post on Squarespace SEO to help you get detailed specifics on setting all of it up. And that post will be linked in the description below, so be sure to check that out. All right, our next tip is all about clear and concise copy. Sometimes it can be really easy to get caught up in quote unquote expert mode and write a bunch of copy for your site that sounds good to you because you know the ins and outs of your business, but it might be either too vague or too complicated for a potential client or customer. Either of those things could lead to confusion and prevent someone from sticking around. To avoid this, try using straightforward language that even a child could understand. Don't use a lot of jargon or complex terms unless it's completely necessary. You'll also want to state your unique selling points clear as day on your homepage. Don't assume that people are even going to read your about page. Someone should honestly be able to tell exactly who you are and what you offer within 3 to 5 seconds of being on your site. And last, avoid long walls of text. Not only does this provide a little too much room for things to get complicated, but most people probably aren't even going to read it and will likely end up more confused. Utilize quick sentences and short paragraphs to guide visitors throughout your site. To help with this, you can try coming up with an elevator pitch or a short intro about your business to get the wheels turning on how to best describe what you do in as little words as possible. Next, you'll want to make it a priority to get feedback before launching. Receiving feedback before launching your website is really invaluable. It can become super hard to view things objectively when you've spent days, weeks, and sometimes even months creating on your own, especially when the thing you're creating is so personal to you. Go ahead and ask your friends, family members, coworkers, or maybe even other industry peers to take a look at your site and provide honest feedback. Encourage them to be specific and offer them prompts and ideas to ensure that they provide you with detailed feedback that's actually helpful. Tip number 7 is about leveraging testimonials and customer showcases. If you've already worked with clients or served customers, even if it was just your friends and family, you should definitely be including a space on your website for testimonials and/or reviews. Showcasing past customer satisfaction is key to building a strong community that trusts you and what you have to offer. Your testimonial section should be highlighted somewhere new site visitors can easily find it, somewhere like your homepage or your services page, and it should consist of succinct quotes showing personality and enthusiasm for you and your business. And if it's appropriate, you might also choose to design a separate page on your site for more in-depth case studies or customer showcases. A page like this is great for services that produce drastic results over time, or to display the final work of students that took your course. Okay, next, we recommend setting up your analytics to monitor performance. This one can be really easy to miss, and a lot of DIYers don't even realize how helpful it can be. But tracking your website performance helps you to understand user behavior and determine things like what blog posts are most popular, what pages people spend the most time on, and which keywords are driving people to your website. It's a good idea to get your analytics set up right from the jump, even if you aren't sure exactly how to use them or if you'll ever even need the data. It might be a little bit overwhelming at first, but allowing these various metrics to start tracking on day one will be super valuable in the long run, and you'll be grateful that you set them up. Squarespace does have free built-in analytics that are convenient and very easy to follow, and we also recommend setting up Google Analytics, which is also free, as an additional tool to regularly track and view your site's data. Next up, you should always ensure fast loading times. When it comes to the website viewing experience, there are few things more frustrating than having to wait 15 seconds for the content to load on a web page. And when you fill your site with large file sizes and every plugin under the sun, everything slows down as a result. To avoid this, you can optimize all of your images by downloading smaller file sizes or using a tool like TinyPNG to compress your larger files. As a general guideline, you'll want to keep all images, graphics, and icons under 500 KB for best results. You can also host your videos on platforms like YouTube or Vimeo instead of uploading directly to Squarespace, and minimize the amount of third-party plugins that you use on your website. So if you're building your site on Squarespace, try to use as many of their built-in tools as possible. Things like scheduling, subscriptions, e-commerce, etc. And that's going to keep things running quickly. Okay, and last, but honestly the most fun, is making sure that you have a strong brand identity that gets infused into every aspect of your website design. The visual aesthetics of your website leads to a much more positive user experience, So overlooking the importance of branding is a big no-no. Your goal should be to create sections of your website like this, where the identity of the brand is made clear through photography, icons, fonts, and the use of color. This is exciting and powerful enough to make visitors want to keep browsing and see more. Something like this, on the other hand, has no personality infused into it. All of this feels really basic and generic, and you don't get a sense of who this business is or what they have to offer you. Nothing about this design screams, keep scrolling and learn more. Make sure to include unique visuals, colors, and fonts within your design, and remember to keep things consistent and cohesive so that there's no denying whose identity is present. Because at the end of the day, it's what's special about you that's going to draw people in and keep them wanting more. That's why all of our premium Squarespace templates are strategically designed and aesthetically focused to make plugging in your unique brand identity super convenient and easy. And again, the link to view all of these templates will be in the description below this video.
So there you have it, 10 best practices for DIYing your own website. I hope those tips were helpful and you're well on your way to launching your new site. If you do need more help with your website, you should definitely check out our completely free training. It's called DIY Your Dream Website, and it walks you through the foundational steps of building your own website. We talk about branding, copywriting, which platforms to use, and tons more. It's totally free and full of lots of value specifically for people wanting to DIY their website. Just go to bigcatcreative.com/free and you can sign up and start the training right away. I'll also put the link below the video too, and hopefully I'll see you in there. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you will probably enjoy this one too. Make sure to subscribe. We put out new videos every week, and I will see you in the next one.